So in this video, we'll be talking about how you fix a mechanical pencil where the lead is just falling out of the front. We've had a few discussions about how you fix a mechanical pencil when the lead is jammed. That's when you push the button and nothing comes out. This is sort of the opposite problem. This is when you push the button and the lead just falls straight out. Happens all the time. It's usually fixable, but not always. We're going to talk about how we fix it. We'll be doing that with a Uniball 207 mechanical pencil. This one is a pretty good representation of most mechanical pencils, but they'll all vary slightly. So we'll start off by taking the pencil apart, and we'll do that more than you probably need to, just for instructional purposes, but you might have to take it apart as well. First thing, remove the eraser or the back piece. This might come with some other parts and things like that, but you just want to be able to get it as deconstructed as possible. Remove the front piece as well. This usually just twists off. It's pretty simple, and you got to be careful what comes with it. Don't take too many parts at once. Maybe they'll come out, maybe they won't. So sometimes this inside piece slides right out with no problem. Other times it's sort of locked in, so you want to be careful how you go about it. In this case, there's a back piece that should come out and a front piece that should come out. Initially, this piece was sort of locked in here like this, and I had unlocked it or sort of opened it up, but now it does come apart fairly easily. And like this piece, for example, looks like it comes apart, but it doesn't. It's fixed. So this comes out. But anyway, just be careful about what you take apart, but sometimes the parts look like they're attached, sometimes they're not. So here's what we have. We have the back piece, the front piece, the body, a retaining clip, a retaining piece of plastic, the pipe, essentially, a stabilizing piece of plastic, and now this is the actual important mechanism to your mechanical pencil. And you can see it's holding the lead, and it has that sort of spring action. So this is really sort of the business end of the pencil. So what's happening here with a mechanical pencil is you have three little pieces here that hold onto the lead, a spring that pushes back and forth, and a little brass or some sort of metal ring that holds the three pieces together. So what happens is the brass ring goes up and down, and when it's up, let's get all the lead out of there. This might be a little easier. So when you push the button, basically, these open, the lead slides out, and then you unpush the button, it goes back. It's happening upside down, so the lead wants to fall out. It's just hard to demonstrate it like that, but this is what you're seeing. Pushing it down, this goes out. Those three parts let go of the lead slides out a fraction of an inch. Then you unpush it. These pieces clamp down on the lead and hold it in place until you push the button again. So what happens when the lead is falling out of your pencil? There's not many things that could actually go wrong. The number one thing that tends to happen is the lead is too small for this little hole here. And that happens when you put 0.5 or 0.3 millimeter lead inside of a 0.7 or 0.9 millimeter pencil. The lead is smaller than this little hole, and it falls right out. That's most of what happens. You're not paying attention. You put the 0.5 millimeter lead in your 0.7 millimeter pencil, and it just falls out. Another thing that could happen is this little retaining ring can either it could fall out. It's not really likely because it's by design. It doesn't want to go past this end piece. So it's tapered like you could see here. That way it can never slide out past that piece of plastic like that. So it doesn't tend to fall out, but sometimes it'll get stuck open or it'll get pushed in too far. I don't know if this one we could push it in. Yeah, but it can get pushed in too far, in which case essentially what you have is something like this, where the piece is extended, that those little 3 clutch pieces are stuck open just a hair. It's essentially what this is doing is turning your 0.5 millimeter pencil, say, into a 0.7 or 0.8 or something like that millimeter opening, so your lead just kind of falls through. What you want to do in that case is you want to take it apart like this, find this retaining ring, and make sure it's sliding freely as you see here. If your pencil looks open and it's like this, that means you probably have either some lead stuck in this piece, or a piece of lead that has turned sideways in here, or just some sort of catch in the mechanism. Sometimes it's pocket dust, sometimes it's a little part of the pencil that broke off. It's hard to say specifically, but you want to make sure that this retaining ring is floating freely like this. Between the lead size and this ring, there's not too much else to worry about. You can check and make sure that these little arms are fully healthy. Basically what happens is sometimes one will just kind of like break off or crack or become misplaced. If that happens, usually there's not a whole lot you can do. These things, as you can tell from my focusing problems, are really quite hard to take a look at because they require you to hold a spring while looking at something very tiny. But basically, if one of these is missing or it's not really doing its job, the integrity of that mechanism can be compromised, and the 3 won't clamp down like that in a smooth motion and hold onto the pencil. So again, just to rewind, you want to make sure that you're using the right size lead. You want to make sure that this ring is working properly, and you want to make sure that these little clutch pieces are not damaged. Those are the main things to keep an eye out for. When you want to put your pencil back together, it's fairly simple. In this case, we'll get this piece, slide it in, but basically we will put that all in place. We will get this piece, put that there, put the retaining clip or retaining ring back in there, push the, actually first we will slide this in. Good firm click there. And now we could get that lead and we're good to go, and this is working as intended. Hopefully this helped, and thanks for watching.